So, last video I said that we had basically 3 options with how to continue in our world here. The first is that we move back to the overworld. The second option we have is to completely restart GTNH and we take this from a whole new world, whole new seed. Or the third option is that we wrap up the series here and we move on to something different. I didn't account for the fact that there is actually a fourth option, the best option. I think best for everyone, to be honest. The GTNH series will continue. Hey guys, and welcome to episode 1 of GregTech New Horizons. Hey guys, and welcome back to GregTech to GT, GregTech New Horizons. That's not fair. You see that guy over there? Best friend? He's got a buddy over there as well. Hunger no more. And we've got a blast furnace. Anyways, here is polyethylene. And we're going to smelt all the things with the multi-smelter. We actually picked up our first EV tier workstations. Oh, that's lava. That's lava. And our quest, the nano suit. Oh yeah. Tier 1 rocket. 2, 1. Aha, our first titanium ingots. We got the Ender Dragon, oh yeah. Gives us our EV chemical reactor. I have no idea how we're going to power this thing. Oh yeah, alright, now I'm excited. Let's go to Mars. Alright, let's do this. Oh, this is such an exciting moment, look at this. We have an ME system. Now then, where do we place the portal? Which ultimately gives us high octane gasoline, now that we have access to epoxy. But let me present our new clean room. Right here is the shiny platinum dust. Nano boots of the traveler. Oh, we got our fortune book back. Eventually, it's going to be a fully modular, be able to handle everything we throw at it, or processing system. Haha, finally, we got our processing array. Oh, these things are so awesome. We're back in GTNH. Not something I thought I would say so soon, but thank you to the amazing power of the community. I mean, what a crazy 24 hours. A little later on, we're going to go into depth on exactly what has happened, what has all transpired in the last 24 hours with this pack. But right now we have some ingots to void. You see all this tungsten steel here? This was from some brief testing I've done here in the main LP world. The rest of the testing though, the many hours of testing I've done, to try to recreate the bugs that we got, was in a copy of this world. So all of this stuff is going to go into the trash. Goodbye tungsten steel. I wish we could keep this, but nope. The tungsten steel we own is in here. Although that being said, with the nature of the bug, who knows what else has been voided, but we're going to call it good right here. Whatever we have right now is what we progress with. So just to get everyone up to speed on where we're at here, basically we were having issues with things voiding and also duplicating themselves. And at first I thought it was this void dimension. As it turns out, you know what's to blame? You know which item's to blame? It's these things. These drawers here are the issue. This can also affect all of you guys playing the pack as well, so it's something that you definitely should be aware of. Thankfully there is actually a fix implemented by Kubash. I'll leave a link to the download of the new storage drawers mod, which you can just replace in your mods folder. But I would like to once again thank everyone who left a comment on last episode. There was many, I did read them all, and also contributed on Discord to help us try to locate the problem. 523.2. This is a bit slower than I wanted, even with this world accelerator. What are we on here? 322.0. So the way I understand this to work, basically, whenever you use drawers and you insert an item, it tells whatever chunk the drawers are in to update and save the contents of this to the world folder. But if you use some sort of automation, a storage bus, an Ender IO conduit, some other sort of pipe, it causes the drawers not to tell the chunk to save its data, unless there is something else in the chunk which causes an update. But because we're over the void here and there is very little items to actually update chunks, there is a very high likelihood whenever we update the contents of the drawer that the chunk does not get updated, and therefore that's how you end up with things duplicated or voided, like all this tungsten steel. But with the fix that's been implemented and you can now download, you can find it on the GTNH Discord as well, things should no longer be an issue, so I think we're good to go here. The grind don't stop. So our plan for today is to make iridium. Not something we've made before, but it does come as a byproduct of platinum. And we need this tank here. This tank of chlorine is going to go right here. So I've been busy adding another large sifting machine. This is exactly the same as the one we have over at ore processing. I'm not sure it's necessary even to have the multi-block. We could have maybe got away with the single blocks. But I think we also need a sifting step to make palladium, which is also part of the byproducts of platinum. So basically our inputs to this system is platinum metallic powder dust, which we get from various ores. You may remember we visited a new planet and placed down our miners, so we should have a really nice amount of platinum in here by now. I think these are finished. Although this crushed platinum is going to need some special processing, so we'll get to that in a second. But the dust gets input to this LCR, and in fact I'm going to move this to the bottom side. It's going to go right here instead. Forgot to grab a filter. So we can extend along the conduit, and we set the insert for platinum metallic powder dust, which we'll have to add to an interface. This conduit network is already connected here for calcium. So this way it just pulls any platinum metallic powder dust that ends up in our ME system, most likely from the outputs of ore processing, which we'll get to later on. That should have turned the system back on, and we're going to be making more platinum dust with this. As a byproduct of this chemical reactor, we also get platinum salt dust, and with this we have to sift this into refined platinum salt dust. So this goes through this sifting machine. Should be able to turn this back on. I think I had this disabled. And again, we have the controls here. If this ever ends up full, then it turns off the machine. But it gets buffered in this drawer and then sent into this blast furnace. So when we sift, we get refined platinum salt, and when we blast furnace, we get metallic powder dust again. Which is the same dust we just filtered in the bottom to restart this whole process. So effectively, we're recycling some of the byproducts to get more platinum. We need some coils for this thing. Do we have any coils just on the off chance? No, we don't have any coils. Not enough coils anyway. Do we have nichrome? I guess we can use this. Fortunately, we have lots and lots of mica we can use, so coils are not going to be a problem. And after looking ahead at the recipes, we're going to be making a few more blast furnaces today. While we're waiting on the coils, this obviously, as you can see, does produce us a slight amount of pollution. We're at 14,000 gibble here. And this is fairly close to the crops here. We're only a few chunks over. Oh, the minimap isn't loaded. And obviously the blast furnaces also produce pollution. So we're going to upgrade the muffler hatches as high as we can go at the moment, which is a muffler hatch at IV, reduces pollution to 50% of the output. And I'm just hoping here that we're far enough away and these machines are not going to be running 100% of the time, so that it won't affect the crops over there. Alright, we got the coils installed. Let's do some maintenance. Are we good? Do we need a circuit? Oh yeah, we need circuit number 1 for this. So we do also get a small amount of chlorine out of this. And for now we're just going to store it in a super tank on site, but I'm actually thinking that we have some sort of centralized chemical storage. I'm really not sure what that's going to look like, and it's not something we'll do today, but I don't know. Let me know if you have any suggestions on that actually. So this gives us platinum metallic powder dust again, and I think we just have to send this back into the inputs of this LCR, which means extract on brown, and we're in business. Nice. So that's platinum being automatically recycled for us, and we're making platinum dust. In order for us to make iridium today, bear with me here, but this is going to start with something called potassium disulfate. We need oxygen, easy, sulfur, easy, potassium, not so easy. I mean easy, but we need patience for this. Then we fluid extract potassium disulfate, blast furnace this with platinum residue dust. And platinum residue dust is another byproduct that we get over on this LCR. We should have it right here. So we'll need one more blast furnace for this, with our platinum residue. The rhodium sulfate we use later on, but we're interested in leach residue dust, which we have to blast furnace again, so we're going to need 2 more blast furnaces I think for this. We also need saltwater saltpeter dust. These 2 byproducts here we use later on. We're interested in rare earth metal, which we blast furnace again with hydrochloric. We get 2 more byproducts out of this. Acidic osmium we use for osmium later on. And iridium is what we need to blast furnace again in order to make iridium dioxide. We chemical react that with hydrochloric acid. Wait a second, don't tell me it's another... Wait, how many byproducts is this? Wait a second, no, this is the end. Acidic iridium solution gives us iridium chloride. Mixed with calcium gives us iridium dust, yes. Which we blast furnace again into iridium ingots. I hope you followed all of that. There's going to be a test at the end. So the machine list for this is as follows. We need 1 HV chemical reactor, 1 HV fluid extractor. Every time we craft something HV, we're always missing one of the components. We need a mixer, 4 EBFs and 3 LCRs. Easy, right? No, I think this is going to take me hours. Oh no, I just broke another P2P tunnel here. I think it's about time we pick up the visualization tool. And I think if we just right click on the controller, it shows us our whole AE2 network here. Well, actually, this is just the subnet. We click the main controller. Yeah, this is the bulk of our AE2 system. This is always so awesome to see. Nice straight lines, I like to see that as well. But yeah, what is this connected to? Looks like it's supposed to be this one, E76. We have to actually move this P2P further down anyway. Has to be at least here, with a dense cable. Okay, we should be back online now, and that gives us many more channels to work with down the line here. We are one short. Always one short! Okay, so I think I got most of the materials crafted in that chest over there. And I've also been trying to plan out all the rest of the machine placements. I'm really not a fan of this thing right here. First of all, it looks super ugly, and second of all, it's 5x5 when the rest of the machines are all 3x3. Makes it not very easy to place, and I'm thinking about moving that thing. Yeah, over in the corner I think is a better spot for the sifting machine. Gives us more space over here for LCRs. And since we no longer have the direct conduit connection between the blast furnace, we are just using a little interface down there to send the items between the two machines. So yeah, I've been planning out all the rest of the machine placements here, and all of these are going to be blast furnaces. We need a total of 4 for this process for iridium, plus a few more later on for rhodium, etc. And I think now that the sifting machine's out of the way, we're going to move these. Probably line them up in the corner here. Well, let's just request a few filters, grab a few conduits, etc. and we'll just follow NEI one step at a time here. Starting with the chemical reactor and fluid extractor. Just make sure these are both HV, yep. We'll worry about the power later, but I think we'll just run a power cable up the middle. I don't have any power cable on me. And we'll also need some conduits to insert the items. So this is the beginning of the quest line for potassium disulfate. I mentioned we need patience for potassium, and that is because we're going to be relying on crops for this. To get potassium, we're going to be electrolyzing biotite right here, which also gives us fluorine, silicon dioxide, alumina, magnesium, and oxygen. How do we get biotite? Well, we can get that from black granite. So we have this single black stone lily, which produces us black granite. So far we have, oh wow, 39 stacks. I planted this quite a while ago, to be fair, but we are waiting on a few more seeds, and I would quite like to get a few more levels on the seeds as well. Check this out, by the way. Look how many seeds we have. Like, this is just, it's crazy the amount of seeds. And the vast majority of these are all stickweed. Still trying to get the stats on these things to max. So that's going to be our long-term solution for potassium, but we do have 800 that we're going to steal from right now out of our AE system. It should be enough at least to get the system running. So we'll need to set the insert filter for potassium and sulfur. Always insert on brown. And what was the other thing we needed? Oxygen. Simple access to our fluid P2P network should provide us enough oxygen. And we do have another one over there, but I think I'm going to keep that separate for ammonia. And we'll just make another one for the whole line of these blast furnaces here. Device online. All we need to do is extend this along. We get our achievement. What was this thing? 128 channels? Wow, already? That should fill the machine? No, because it's on green channel. I always forget about that. Alright, fix the fluid. Do you think we'll need a buffer between these things? The recipe is only 2.1 seconds at MV, and we get 11 per cycle, so... No, I don't think so. I think we can just go straight into the fluid extractor. So once it's been fluid extracted, it then has to go into a blast furnace with platinum residue. We can just put the input hatch right here. Blast furnace goes right around here, and we are missing muffler hatches for everything. I didn't realise this is going to be very expensive if we go with IV. So we'll make a decision on that later. Let's get all the filters and the rest of the machines in place first. I suppose what we could do is just do a high amp transformer. As all of these blast furnaces only require MV, but we can run all of these HV, I think. I mean, I don't know, we'll see. We're kind of pushing our power situation a little bit, but that's something we're going to have to look into soon. Anyways, all of this will be blue wire. And if I remember correctly, I did accidentally build the wrong transformer a while ago. So we should have a... Oh yeah, we got 2 HV high amp transformers here. Kind of an expensive mistake, but we'll call it forward planning. So we got IV power here coming off our main LUV power. That transforms to EV, so this will all be pink cable until here, and then we can high amp transform down to HV. Blue alloy can handle 16 amps. We should be able to output 16 amps from this, so the cable shouldn't burn at least. Machines don't explode, I think we're in the clear. Oh, and somewhere on this blast furnace line we'll also need an interface, and that means we can take the potassium and the sulfur for this chemical reactor from here, as well as supply the rest of the machines on this line. So I've decided to do something here that I don't normally do in GregTech packs. But here I think we make an exception. Normally what I would do here is place a storage bus on the drawer, but since we found out that they're kind of bugged. I mean, with the fix, I believe we can keep using them as normal, but they do cost us power on the network for AE, so instead what we're going to do actually is just send them all back on Blue Channel back to the interface, which will fill up our drives and means that we have to upgrade those things more often. But not to worry, in a future patch, they are becoming cheaper, so we're going to hold off on that before we craft some more. Or maybe loot bags can save us. But anyways, we send all the dusts from all of these things into our AE system, which probably makes most of these drawers irrelevant. Maybe except for this one, I don't know what's going on here. I bet it's chlorine. Yeah, we don't have hydrochloric. Oh no, we're out of hydrochloric acid, we need that later on. Hold on a second, where do we make hydrochloric? I think it's here, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, look at this, we're out of chlorine. I knew it. I knew it would be the chlorine. This is really not something we can put off, so I charged the jetpack and flew out to the overworld location to pick up the oil rig, which is actually finished by now. It finished quite a while ago. But we have more than enough oil backlogged for the foreseeable future. Refilled the rocket, we're just using tier 2 since we don't need to go to tier 3 planets for this, and set our destination for the moon, where we should be able to find large pools of salt water. Oh, we landed in a very strange location here. Maybe because we took off from a different place on the overworld. But yeah, if I'm not wrong, I think this chunk, or these chunks over here, should contain all of our salt water. Oh, wait a second. I forgot we had 2 of these things. And there's a full super tank of salt water here. Well, I guess this solves our immediate needs. We might as well set up the other one while we're here. I forgot this thing even existed. I think I also left the hammer in the overworld as well, so we're going to be digging this manually. Okay, the fluid rig should be operational. We gave this actually some tape that I found in the compressed chest, so we shouldn't end up with any maintenance issues this time. But we're also going to be swapping up the distribution method for high octane gasoline to power the generator to power the multi-block. So we have a few spare ender tanks actually. What we can do is input this into a tank, and then we can just place 2 conveyors, allow input, and give it a few empty cells. Should fill the combustion generator, and the empty cells should be passed back to the fluid tank to pick up the next round of high octane gasoline. And once we give it mining pipe, give it a hit with the hammer, we should be getting salt water, and we have a spare ender tank, which is on white, green, white. This is connected to our electrolyzers, which will turn it into chlorine. I think this has to reach bedrock first though. Yeah, we're at Y54 up here, so a stack of mining pipe should be enough. I guess we'll take this one back with us. I did only account for the fact that we'd be setting one of these things up, and this ender tank's now on the wrong channel anyway. But hey, we have this full super tank of salt water we can work with today. Alright, I've been grinding away at this setup now, and we're halfway there, I would say. So we got all the blast furnace steps in place, and we're making our 2 iridium various dusts here. Lots and lots of dusts. And I don't know what made me check this, but I brought up the chunk boundaries here, and we have a problem. A really big problem. So I was planning this out. I did actually make sure to check this before, and all of these blast furnaces used to be 1 block to the right hand side. For some reason, I moved them 1 block to the left, I think just to have this an even, consistent spacing in here. This is actually tragic, and I to be honest, I don't really know what the solution is either. If you're wondering, by the way, why I'm not wall sharing these things, we need to have all the hatches on the bottom, and for a lot of these, there is actually 3 hatches, which complicates things quite a lot when you're trying to wall share. But yeah, look at all the filters we've got to reset again. Oh man, okay, let me fix this problem before we can move on. There's no point in putting it off because this is going to be a problem long term. Okay, done. That was actually as bad as I was thinking it was. Lesson learned, I guess. I guess I should explain why we're actually setting all this up though. So the main thing we're after today, at least, is iridium. The reason we need iridium, well, there's many reasons we need iridium. One of the reasons we need iridium is for HSS-S, which is the upgrade from HSS-G on the coil blocks in our blast furnace. We can also use iridium for sensors at IV, which is used to make the ender chests. We're desperately in need of some more of these things. So yeah, this is going to be so good when we get this set up, but again, there's some platinum metallic processing things that we need to set up, as I've mentioned. It's looking like we're not going to get that today though. However, out of this last blast furnace, we get iridium dioxide, and we also get sludge dust residue dust. It's a very funny name, but we can basically just centrifuge this for silicon dioxide and gold dust. So this mixer here is something I'm not sure if it's going to stay or not. We're actually mixing salt water, And yes, we did just go to the moon for salt water. But honestly, I think it's just easier to mix it. Although it may not be such a bad idea to hook up some salt water. It's just because of the fact that we're distilling it all. I don't know, this step may get changed, but in any case, we need salt water for this, so it's gonna do us for now. All of these furnaces are all on safe mode with the machine controllers. And we also have the detector covers and the fluid detector covers. I'm getting into the habit of putting the outputs on the machine controllers so that we can just directly hook up the redstone between the two blocks. And it saves us having to do things like this, although it's kinda necessary on the distillation towers here. I've realised here that we're actually not picking up the quests either. It may not be such a bad idea to turn some of these machines off and let us catch up on the quests. I think though we're just going to get coins out of this, which, I mean, is not too useful. I mean, we get a loot bag here. Oh, we get a few loot bags out of this. Hold on a second. You know what, actually no, we're getting distracted a bit here. We've got some LCRs to set up first, which I think I left here in this chest. Yeah, I'm not sure if 33 is enough casings, but I know that we need some more cupronickel coils. We only have one, and I think we need 2 minimum. The rest of the hatches and buses, I think I already accounted for. Oh no, things are shutting down. You can see here in the chat here, this is basically what safe mode does. Oh, everything is shutting down here. Oh no, are we out of power here? We are out of power, but wait. This doesn't make any sense. This cable has no power, but this transformer has power. How about now? Oh, now it has power. That's not the first time that's happened either. That's so weird. I think we'll have to manually reset our machines here though. Alright, what are we actually making over here? Yeah, that's right. I made this right to left since I want the outputs on this side next to the path. Although not that it really matters since we'll have conduit there anyway. No, we'll stick with the plan. We know what happened last time when we changed it last minute. Well, after a crazy amount of grinding, that's the wrong hatch. There it is. Iridium dust. So I got our 3 LCRs set up here. No chunk boundary issues this time. So we are taking the dioxide dust into this first one, also mixing it with hydrochloric acid. And from here we get acidic iridium solution, which then goes through ammonium chloride. So ammonium chloride we're also using for platinum, which is coming out of this LCR right here. This gives us iridium chloride, and also gives us ammonia back as well. So we're just super tanking that. And we're also just sending it out on brown channel, which will, if needed, go back into our fluid P2P network. Although I have put on a little fluid detector cover here. We'll come and upgrade the tank if this ever ends up full for whatever reason. But yeah, the dust output comes out of the bottom side. It's on higher priority into the drawer just as a buffer, and then gets filtered in the last LCR here, which is the only one running at EV. The rest we transform down to HV. Although at some point, once we have our power situation figured out, we may end up overclocking all of these machines we have here. All we have to do at this stage is mix it with calcium dust. And calcium is not something we have automated at the moment. Although we're getting a small amount from calcium chloride, which is one of the byproducts on platinum. And we also get metallic sludge dust residue dust, which again is a very strange name. Oh wait, no, it's not this thing. This is the other centrifuge, which gives us nickel and copper, which we still have to set up. Is it the fluid? Yeah, we get calcium chloride fluid, which we can fluid solidify into calcium chloride and electrolyze for some of the calcium back, along with some chlorine actually. And we already have the electrolyzer here for calcium chloride set up. So we just somehow have to put in a fluid solidifier in this line. I'm probably going to have to redo these single blocks, maybe make them vertical instead. But yeah, ultimately, iridium dust. Let us see at this point, now that we have the LCR set up, if we can go through and collect all of the quests, because if I don't do it now, I'm never going to get these. And I think we'll end the episode by unlocking some of these loot bags. Alright, that's the first quest. The next one, we need to get platinum residue, which means waiting on this LCR, and this is 70 seconds per. Maybe in the meantime, let's just check our multi-blocks. It's something I've not done in a while, and by a while I mean 2 days. I think most of these are running fine. Oh, this one has problems, the fuel desulfurization. We should maybe look at a way to detect maintenance issues. Similar to our setup here in the clean room, although I'm not really sure how I feel about having howler alarms all the way throughout the base. Maybe we search for a more elegant solution than that. But just as an update on our ore processing system here, I thought with the whole storage drawers thing, when I found that out, I was going to have to redo all of this. But I don't think that's going to be the case, to be honest. I think we are actually safe to keep all these drawers in place. And I have managed to get through most of these chests now. Anyways, there's the second quest. Oh, really? It wants every single step of this? Okay, sodium ruthenate, there you go. Steam cells we have here. Oh, that's right, we do get steam out of this, but I'm just going to let this void, to be honest. Maybe we come back and recycle this later on for this dust, I think it was, that has to go through the oil cracking unit. For some reason it's not counting the steam cells in my inventory. Do we really need to fluid can these? Next quest complete. We should be able to turn on this blast furnace again. Some hydrochloric acid should complete the next quest. There we go. Oh, I almost forgot. We have to actually send the contents of these things out back into our ME system so that it can be put into this LCR. We just need to add a filter on the insert of the ME interface so that we can get our next quest. And one more for the iridium. Iridium. Finally. So of course there are still some byproducts we have to deal with out of the system. I'm going to work on some of those between episodes, but others are going to be quite big projects we'll have to undertake. I think we'll get to next time. Oh, look at that, it gives us a free iridium dust. We can already smelt this thing, right? Oh, actually no we can't. We need 7,680 EU per tick, which means we're going to have to upgrade one of these blast furnaces and overclock this thing. But first, some loot bags. So we have 3 IVs we can enchant here. These are the good ones. Sword of the Cosmos? Or an Ender Chest. Ender Chest would be nice. Ah, you know what? Actually, that's not bad. I mean, it's not great, because we've just set up Platinum. The Cenarium batteries aren't bad. I'm kind of trying to justify it. No, that was kind of terrible, actually. It was worth a shot, I guess. But yeah, I'm so happy I can continue this series. I thought it was going to have to end. I got the impression that some of you guys thought I was kind of burned out, and I'm definitely not burned out. I was maybe a little discouraged, if I'm being honest, with the bug. But now that we know what the situation with that is, yeah, I'm really excited to get going in this world again. Anyways, we're going to wrap things up here again. Thank you so much to everyone once again for all of your support over the last day. More than the last day, just in general. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch, and also your engagement on Discord as well. It's been really nice, actually. So yeah, that is going to do us for today. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you all soon for some more GregTech New Horizons.